What if we told you that over 1,000 years ago, an emperor in South India constructed a 216-foot stone temple, without a single drop of cement? A structure so tall, precise, and enduring, it rivals modern engineering. This isn't fiction. This is the legacy of Raja Raja Chola, the visionary king who built the mighty Brihadeeswara Temple. Welcome to a journey through time, stone, and the soul of Tamil civilization. In today's episode, we dive deep into the genius of Raja Raja Chola, his royal lineage, the cultural zenith of the Chola dynasty, and the architectural marvel that still baffles historians and engineers alike, the Brihadeeswara Temple of Tanjavur. The lineage of greatness, visuals of ancient royal family trees and paintings. Rajaraja Chola was born as a Rolmazi Varman in 947 CE into the illustrious Chola dynasty, a lineage that had ruled parts of Tamilakam since the Sangam age. His father was Sundara Chola, and his elder brother, Adithiar Karaklan, was initially next in line to the throne. But fate had other plans. Following the mysterious assassination of Adithiar, a political vacuum was created. Rajaraja, once third in line, rose to the throne in 985 CE. With his ascension began a golden era for South India. Rajaraja was not just a warrior. He was a scholar, a visionary, and a patron of art and architecture. His empire stretched from the banks of the Tungabhadra in the north to Sri Lanka in the south, from the Malabar coast in the west to the Bay of Bengal in the east. But his most enduring contribution was not military conquest. It was cultural and architectural. In the year 1003 CE, Rajaraja conceived the idea of building a Shiva temple like no other. Not just a temple, it would be a cosmic symbol, a spiritual skyscraper, and an engineering marvel. The Brihadeeswara Temple, also called the Paravudayar Koval, would rise high into the Tamil sky, 216 feet tall, capped with a single granite stone weighing around 80 tons. Here's where it gets mind-blowing. This temple was built entirely out of granite, a material not naturally found in Tanjavur. Historians believe the granite was sourced from quarries over 50 kilometers away, transported without wheels as we know them today. And how did they build it without cement? They used a technique called interlocking. Stones were carved to fit into each other like puzzle pieces, and the weight distribution itself held the structure in place. A precise, friction-based system that has stood unshaken for over a millennium. At the heart of the temple is the Vimana, or temple tower. It soars to 216 feet, making it the tallest temple structure of its time. Engineers and historians still wonder, how did they raise an 80-ton granite stone to such a height? One theory suggests the use of a 6-kilometer-long inclined ramp, starting far from the temple and gradually sloping upwards. Elephants may have been used to pull the stone up the ramp. The temple isn't just tall, it's also perfectly aligned. The shadow of the Vimana never falls on the ground at noon, thanks to the architectural brilliance and astronomical precision of its builders. The temple complex was laid out in accordance with axial and symmetry principles. It is built in a straight line, with the sanctum, main tower, and Nandi all in perfect alignment. Scene 8, the inner sanctum, spiritual and symbolic imagery. At the core of the temple lies the sanctum, housing a massive Shiva lingam. It represents the infinite nature of Lord Shiva, timeless, boundless, formless. The walls inside the sanctum are covered in murals and inscriptions that chronicle Rajaraja's conquests, donations, and administration. It's not just a temple, it's a living historical document. Behind this temple stood an army, not of soldiers, but artisans, architects, masons, and metalworkers. Over 1,000 names of these workers are inscribed on the temple walls, an early form of credit given to contributors in a time when most went unnamed. This speaks volumes about the Chola ethos, where collective excellence was celebrated. Rajaraja didn't just fund this temple through royal coffers. He institutionalized temple economics. The Brihadeeswara Temple functioned as a center of economy, with endowments, donations, and land grants recorded meticulously in Tamil inscriptions. Villages donated to the temple provided rice, oil, and manpower to keep the temple running, much like an autonomous city. Temples became centers of employment, education, culture, and governance. Even as he built a temple on land, Rajaraja expanded his power across the seas. He created one of the earliest and most powerful naval forces in Indian history, establishing Chola influence in Sri Lanka and as far as the Maldives. His maritime strength funded many of the cultural and religious activities back home. Rajaraja's devotion to Tamil is evident in the inscriptions found in the temple complex. They're written in Tamil, which is one of the oldest languages in the world that still exists, and are some of the earliest documentation of Tamil administration, land laws, and local governance. These aren't just inscriptions, they are the voice of an empire that believed in literacy and transparency. The Brihadeeswara Temple is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But more importantly, it is a living symbol of what visionary leadership, artistic excellence, and scientific knowledge can achieve. Rajaraja's legacy isn't just etched in stone, it's woven into the Tamil identity, literature, music, and cultural pride. Think about it, a 216-foot temple, made without cement, precision aligned with the sun, topped with a stone too heavy for modern cranes, and still standing proud after 1,000 years. This isn't just architecture. It's poetry in stone. It's devotion chiseled into granite. And it all began with one man, Raja Raja Chola. A king. A visionary. A builder of worlds. In an age of steel and concrete, remember the king who built a skyscraper out of stone, and made it eternal.